Prince Handley coming to you with 100,000 watts of pure healing, miracle-working love. I want to continue our discussion on There's More Than Artificial Intelligence. This will be part 5 dealing with nanotechnology. I'm going to read you some current news dealing with nanotechnology. The University of Texas announced what it's calling the smallest and best nanometer ever built. Mechanical engineer Donglei Fan led a group of engineers who built a motor 500 times smaller than a grain of salt. And that particular nanometer measured only 1 micrometer across. It could fit inside a human cell. By the way, a micrometer, the old term is micron, is 1/1,000,000th of a meter, or 25,000th of an inch. Here's another current news item. Nanopesticides designed for better crop production and disease protection could also mean more toxic algae outbreaks for nearby streams, lakes, and wetlands, researchers report. And here's one you'll really love for you do-it-yourselfers. This is current, this is now. Custom order your own nanomaterials made from patented and well-known greener synthesis methods. Excellent size distribution, emission, brightness, and purity, producing nanoparticles and a focus on quality. You might want to order those right now and get started on that project. Here's another news item. Current, nanoparticles give immune cells a boost. Drugs carried in cellular backpacks help T cells to destroy tumors. And finally, tiny particles could help fight brain cancer. Nanoparticles carrying 2 drugs can cross the blood-brain barrier and shrink tumors. Let me remind you what the purpose of this teaching is. As with the previous 4 sessions, our attempt is to both present the advantages of artificial intelligence, while at the same time presenting the potential evil resident in this very science, especially in the hands of evil people with evil motives. Computer scientist Bill Joy and many other writers have identified cluster groups of technological advances that they esteem critical to the future of humanity. Joy warns that these advances have potential to be used by elites for either good or evil. And Elon Musk, who founded PayPal, SpaceX, and Tesla Motors, believes that without oversight, AI could be an existential threat. He says, "We are summoning the demon." Those of you that have listened to the previous 4 sections of this teaching realize that one of my goals is to help us look forward to the potential risk of AI and its branches in the end times. You might say, well, why worry? We won't be living then. My friend, we are living right now at the entrance to the end times. And we should be concerned not only about medical or social decisions we have to make now or in the near future, personally or politically, but also for our progeny, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. Last session, we discussed information technology and how the Antichrist, or the beast, the coming global governance leader, will not only control but also monitor the global populace through information technology accessed and utilized by artificial intelligence. But wait till you listen to details of this podcast concerning how nanotechnology can and will be used in the end time by the evil empire of Satan and his beast, and the beast global leader of religion, the false prophet. So let me give you an introduction to this session, part 5. If you survived after parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, I have another challenge for you. Let's see if you're up to it. This session will discuss nanotechnology. Nanotechnology potentially provides the ability to order and change molecular and atomic structures. Nanotechnology can be and is already being used to produce changes inside the host body. 1 nanometer is a billionth of a meter, or 10 to the negative 9th power of a meter. That's 10 to the negative 9th exponentially. Let me give you an example. 10 to the power of minus 9, or 10 to the negative 9th, is the same as 1 over 1 billionth. And if you divide 1 by 1 billion, you'll see how pretty small that is. You can now see the mobility of subatomic, super small elements, chemicals, or biomeds carried through your body cells. And in this podcast, you will learn how nanotechnology, with its precise subatomic accuracy, and delivery, in conjunction with biotech and artificial intelligence, can be used to enhance the human condition while at the same time approaching, possibly crossing, the point of no return, especially with regard to singularity, cybergenetics, and even robotics. And by the way, we'll discuss singularity next time. So I'm going to cover some details in this podcast that you might not learn in the news or in scientific bulletins or in research papers. By the way, did you know that automatic control systems, especially as regards to artificial intelligence via input to the human brain or brain-machine interfacing, BMI, and nanotechnology will result in internal programming that will substitute for normal human nature, which is concomitant with transhumanism, in other words, being beyond human? So there's some ethical and moral questions. I asked some questions in the first 4 parts of this series concerning valid bioethics and moral questions. Now, think about artificial intelligence with this usage of nanotechnology from a human perspective. I will delve into that a little more during this podcast. Using nanotechnology, biotechnology, human brain-machine interfacing, and other specialties addressed in this teaching, transhumanists strive, or are actively involved, in creating the ultimate human. The chief goal is life extension and biological improvement. However, enhancement versus other modifications can leave a wide spectrum of uncertainty. Transhuman literally means beyond human. Transhumanists consist of life extensionists, techno-optimists, singularitarians, biohackers, roboticists, AI proponents, and futurists who embrace radical science and technology to improve the human condition. The most important name for many transhumanists is to overcome human mortality, a goal that some believe is achievable by the year 2045. Nanotechnology potentially provides the ability to order and change molecular and atomic structures. The same basic building blocks are present in humans as are in the natural world, thus enabling nanotechnology to change human tissues and cells at the molecular level. Better IQ, appearance, and capabilities are key aims of human enhancement. But these enhancements will undoubtedly benefit many. But they also bring up important moral, ethical, and legal questions. Some worry that human enhancements may create undesirable pressures to enhance. Would it be possible to compete for a job if everyone else was enhanced mentally? To compete in athletics if everyone else was strength enhanced? Or compete for a spouse if you are not physically enhanced? These are legitimate concerns, but they're probably not strong enough to prevent or even slow enhancement technologies. People involved in the creative fields would have expanded access to creative streams of thought and implementation. Not only productivity in factories and personal endeavors, but recreation and sports will also be augmented, and also in the military. Scientists in Poland are working on a liquid body armor technology that uses specially designed liquid to protect against bullets. With STF, also known as oobleck, a bullet's force is absorbed by the liquid and then dissipated outwards through the fluid. The U.S. Army is also working on such armor with the University of Delaware. Nanotechnology can be and is already being used to produce changes inside the host's body. In the past, geneticists have used microbiological vectors to transfer animal and plant genes from one species into another. But now, vectors are a new method of transferring or transporting subatomic material. The vectors are essentially biological trucks that transport DNA building materials and agents, workers, into human cell structure. To change a human body, to repair, to enhance, or to fix a mistake, you need a delivery system. Some of these delivery systems can be formulated to time release. The delivery system can be structured via virus or bacteria. A virus can be used like a suitcase where genetic mutation material is packed. And then the goal is to target the specific cells. However, getting the payload where you want it, when you want it, is the nightmare unless you have a map. Virtual receptor mapping, or VRM, is the most exciting development in genetic engineering. cellular tempo, muscle efficiency, oxygenation, neural regeneration, elasticity, sensory function, and pain suppression are all fields of research and development, especially for the military. In addition to the National Nanotechnology Initiative discussed previously, the USA has the Center for Soldier Nanotechnologies, that's CSN, and is working on interfacing the human nervous system with the electronic or machine devices to develop a super soldier, a cyborg soldier. As I mentioned previously, 1 nanometer is a billionth of a meter, or 10 to the minus ninth of a meter. Let me give you a few examples to help you. There are 25,400,000 nanometers in an inch. A sheet of newspaper is about 100,000 nanometers thick. If a marble were a nanometer, then 1 meter would be the size of the Earth. Let me repeat that. On a comparative scale, if a playing marble were a nanometer, then 1 meter would be the size of the Earth. Told you previously how the University of Texas built a motor 500 times smaller than a grain of salt that could fit inside a human cell. Now, let me summarize. A vector can be any vehicle that can carry or transport genetic information and gain entry into a cell. And with genetic mapping, once inside the cell, the workers go about their respective jobs of, number 1, splicing human genes at predetermined locations, or number 2, filling genetic information that can be, at any time, downloaded for production of new hybrid cells. Warning: these cells are not just enhanced cells, they will no longer be human. Let me read that again. Warning: these cells are not just enhanced, they are no longer human cells. Even if new hybrid cells are not produced, the very fact of enhancement, due to the influence of uncertainty, let's call it what it is, modification, could easily have deleterious results. Here's just a few examples. Brain modification allowing receptors to gain access to or receive messages from paranormal and satanic occult sources. Check this one out. Here's another example. Downloading via the transfer of artificial intelligence, AI, information through brain-machine interfacing to give a person the desire for the mark of the beast. In other words, they want to take the mark of the beast. He will love that. Here's another example. Corrupted spermatozoa which could fertilize an ovum, producing a hybrid being. That is, other than normal, a non-human life form. Or a hybrid life form, human and otherworldly combined. And let me give you another example. Receiving fallen, demonically anointed influence via psychoneural pathways. I started studying cybernetics at the age of 16. It intrigued me. Cybernetics has been defined as the scientific study of control, or automatic control system, and communication in the animal and the machine. It basically concerns a closed loop with feedback as to what happens when change happens. Automatic control systems, especially as regards to artificial intelligence via input to the human brain, or brain-machine interfacing, and nanotechnology, will result in internal programming that will substitute for normal human nature, which, as I said earlier, is concomitant with transhumanism, or beyond human. So up to now, I assume that you can see how nanotechnology, with its precise subatomic accuracy and delivery, in conjunction with biotech and artificial intelligence, can be used to enhance the human condition, while at the same time approaching, and as I said earlier, possibly crossing the point of no return, especially with regard to singularity and cybergenetics, even robotics. Now, in the next session, I'm going to take some time to discuss technological singularity, what it is, how it works, and why many in the scientific field believe it can overtake us. By overtake, I mean pass us and still look back. You might want to go pray for a while now. This has been your friend, Prince Handley, the Prince of Podcasting, coming to you with 100,000 watts of God's anointed intelligence, healing power, love, and blessing. My friend, go with God. And who is he that overcomes the world but he that believes that Yeshua, Jesus, is the Son of God? I pray the blessing and the anointing of Almighty God upon you. If your plans fit into God's plans, you'll have God's faith, and God's faith always works. Baruch haba b'Shem Adonai.